Hi everyone, I'm so excited because I am talking about good times and gatherings tonight. So this is May, so we have all of the holidays and festivities coming up that you'll want to bring something good to. And what are all the graduations, Father's Day, what else? Like
there's always a birthday in
birthdays,
there.
we have a lot of May birthdays. And when you go to this thing, you want to bring something good. And I have a couple ideas I hope you'll enjoy that will be, you'll impress your friends, but they're actually not that hard at all. So I'm doing two things. I'm going to show how to do a savory sandwich ring, and then we're going to do a really fun dip. So I'm really excited to get started.
These both sound really delicious.
I think so. So these recipes, so the savory sandwich ring, this is a Pampered Chef classic. Like I've literally been making this one since 2000.
I think
and
so.
It's been a favorite since then. So that one I'm really excited about. And then the layer dip we're going to do, we're actually going to make a homemade hummus, and then we're going to make this Greek 7-layer dip. So we all love the taco dip, but this one's kind of a little twist on it, a little bit more gourmet and upscale.
A little Mediterranean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's get started with our savory sandwich ring. So the featured piece that I use to cook this on is our white enameled stoneware, and this is traditional stoneware, unglazed, but it has the white coating, so it's more appropriate for oven to tables for your presentation, because you always want things to look pretty. And I wanted to show you this. All this is this French spread rolls, you know, the rolls that pop open, and I just got 2 of those. And then this says to stretch them out to about 12 to 14 inches, and then you put 2 together, and then you do the best you can to pinch them together, and they don't want to stick together, but you just do the best you can. And then what I did was I brushed on some olive oil with my little silicone brush, and then I actually took 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, straight up pressed it, and spread that across the top. So this is like raw garlic that was baked on there, and then a ½ teaspoon of oregano and a ½ teaspoon of basil. So that's what really brings this.
The aroma of the garlic just it's in the air.
You can smell it
just sitting here by it.
So then I took my bread knife and I sliced the whole thing in half. Okay, so this is where it's going to get fun. We're just going to start layering. Where can I set this? So we're just going to start our layers. So first thing we're going to do is our meat and cheese. And it is 4 ounces of sliced cheese and then 8 ounces of deli meats. And this is fun because you can just pick the ones that are your favorites. So we're going to lay down the cheese first. And then, and you can help me with this, Mom. Do you think we might need to divide these into triangles, or I don't know if we'll have enough to go?
I think we'll be okay, actually.
Just to go all the way around like that. So our cheese first. And then I'm going to start with the ham. So it was 8 ounces of deli meats total. And I'm partial to ham, so I got ham, but you could do salami. And then I felt like I found this sliced pepperoni sandwich slices. I thought that would be really fun. So, because it'll give it that extra little pepperoni kick. I don't know about you, but I just have to have pepperoni on my pizza. Not really looking pretty. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And if you don't mind grabbing the dishcloth from the sink over there, and then lettuce, and then we're gonna keep layering flavors here, and this is gonna really end up over the top. So lettuce, and then okay, and this is the lettuce from the garden that Neil grew, so he'll be happy. He's always asking if I need things from the garden. So we'll just lay that on. This is going to be hard to not get out of control, I can tell. Okay, so then for a little extra pizzazz, we're gonna drizzle on some dressing on top of the lettuce. So you can kind of picture the flavors that are going on here. And I actually just like that, you know, that little packet of dressing.
Right.
So I'm just going to drizzle on just a couple tablespoons or a couple tablespoons, but it will get messy on you, so you might have to hold back a little. Okay, so then we're going to keep going with our layers, and this is where it's going to get fun too, because we're going to do some onion, and let me show you how easy this is. So for our onion and our veggies, we are going to use our simple slicer. So all I did was peel my onion, and I just have it with the peeling and the ends cut off and fried. And then we're going to use the simple slicer. So I know, Mom, you love this too.
I do.
And so this is just your basic mandolin with the 3 different widths, so thin to thick.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, you have to use the safety guard. Promise me you'll use the safety guard. So this is your basic, like if you just need to slice onion or potatoes, it's probably the most common. Don't you guys use it for the fish fries?
We do. Like the sweet potatoes, we do at number 2 or 3, and the white potatoes we do on the center, and then just flash fry them.
So you do sweet potatoes in here, and you do it on the thicker one, not the thinner
For
one?
some reason, when you flash fry them, they do better a little bit thicker, and then the very center will stay sort of that soft with that real good sweet potato
So
flavor.
sweet potatoes specifically, you do thicker,
Thicker,
and then
and the white on, you can do number 2 or number 1 depending on how potato chip texture you
how
want.
thin and crispy.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're just going to use this to do our onion and our pepper and tomato. I'm going to show you something else fun too. And Neil threw in some radishes there. So Neil comes in from the garden and he says, "Do you need some radishes?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, but I guess I'll take some."
Radishes are always a nice touch.
So onion I am doing on the thinnest, because I don't know about you, but when I bite into onion, I don't like big chunks.
I agree, totally.
And you're going to see me start this without the safety guard. If your fingers are well away, you should be okay to start it. And then you can see how fast this actually goes. And we might not even need too much more than that. We'll save this for our next recipe. So if you want to start, we'll start spreading around the onions. And then I'm actually going to use the same tool to do my green pepper. And we'll do, I think for green pepper, we'll do a medium, maybe even thick. I think we'll try the number 2 thick.
Yeah, because you don't have a lot of mass.
It's
I think,
only
yeah.
1, 2, or 3 levels. So I'm just going to do the middle setting. You're going to see me not use the safety guard, but that's because my fingers are well away from it. And then when I get closer, I will use the safety guard. So what's cool about the safety guard is you just push it onto the prongs, and then you slide on your sliding rail, and then you just push.
Then you're safe.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we have our sliced bell pepper. Ooh, that's looking so pretty already.
It's got so much pretty color and texture.
I think, so we also have our friend Lindsay in the background here. Lindsay, you think Mike would like to take this for lunch tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or you too?
Yeah.
Any of us on that one.
It's all the fresh smells over here too.
Uh-huh.
And then Mom, I know you're doing more gluten-free, so you could just take all these ingredients and make a salad out of them.
Exactly.
Your meat, like kind of like a chef salad.
Yeah, just do a bed of lettuce and then stack everything on.
Yeah.
The dressings and everything, and you've got it.
So for our tomato, I want to show you something kind of fun. So tomatoes can be funny. If you have those ripe garden tomatoes, they're going to mash on you with the cutting tool. And you just need a good knife for that. But I noticed with these Roma tomatoes, the ones that you get at the store year round, they're a little firmer, so we should be okay to use our quick slice. So this reminds me of the little eggs. You can do like 2 eggs at a time, or 4 mushrooms at a time, or 4 strawberries at a time, and you can just zip through a veggie tray so quick. So, and you can see, hopefully you can see, the blades are serrated and they're a V shape. So that's what grips onto your food. And you can actually even start it on just the cutting board and then kind of transfer it. And then you just kind of rock and push. And see, for aroma, it does do fine because
they do a good job.
yeah, because, and I'll hand those to you so you can start laying them out because it's firm enough to give it a little traction. So those, get them started. And this sandwich is going to look really pretty, but hopefully you can see, I'm just doing this in real time so you can see how quick it goes. Here's our other tomato. And what do you think? One more? Or do you think
Actually, this is probably enough.
you think we're good with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
otherwise these will squeeze out, I think.
Okay. Now, while I have this quick slice out, we're going to do even more layers of flavors. You like olives, right?
Oh, yeah.
So don't be stealing any. so you can move straight into our olives on the quick slice. So you just lay as many as you can get on there. And so, of course, you could use that little white egg slicer for olives, but you have to do it fewer at a time. So this way we'll get it all knocked out pretty quick.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You know that little cup cutter that you use for
Yeah.
strawberries? We could use that as well.
We're going to
couldn't we?
try that next, just for
Okay.
fun. I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgot about it. But I like, this is more heavy duty. If you want to hold out your hand, I'll just put them down here so they can see. There you go. Perfect. Perfect visual. Okay. And then, okay, so did you want to see the new cup slicer? This has been the new.
That is a pretty intriguing little.
Okay. So similar to the quick slice, but a little bit more handheld. And if you're just doing kind of little bits at a time, this is the cup slicer. So you just have your ingredients laid out on the cutting board. So this is fantastic for strawberries or mushrooms, any of the little bit softer fruits. So you just go like this. And then you have your, and I noticed that a knife is perfect just for knocking them out. So there's a couple options for getting your olive sliced really quick.
Yeah, because I always feel like when you buy cans of sliced olives, they lose their integrity.
I know, I felt like there was a good reason to buy them whole.
Yeah.
Whenever you can do it yourself, it's always a fresher.
Kind of like fresh garlic.
Exactly. Okay, so we're getting pretty close here. So olives, okay. So then what we're gonna do is get back our top right back here. Okay, so this is my top again, and I'm actually just gonna lay it to the side just for a sec here. And then what I'm gonna do is take my silicone brush, and then I have some dressing still, and I'm just gonna sprinkle on a little dressing, and we're gonna spread some dressing over the top. So you can kind of picture all these flavors that are going on and layering in this sandwich. This is not gonna be a boring sandwich. This is gonna be a showstopper. So we're just gonna, and that's gonna soak into the bread, give it even more flavor. And I use that really good olive oil in there. So we have our top. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. Hopefully you guys can get a good view of that there. So there we go. That's our savory sandwich ring. It's a Pampered Chef classic recipe.
It is a showstopper.
You want to dig into it right now? Let's get our appetizer and then we'll go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next featured recipe, let's collect our thoughts here.
This one is even beautiful from the side. You can see all the pretty layers.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect visual. So I'll send you the recipe so you don't have to feel like that's really cruel just to show us that. So let's just talk about, so when we're going to all our gatherings, I know my specialty is appetizers and desserts. I mean, almost all the gatherings have a dessert, so I almost hesitate to bring more desserts sometimes, but appetizers I think are always a winner, and something that's maybe a little more unique, because I'm always doing like, you know, you always have your classic boring, and it's not even boring, it's all good.
It's
but
go-to.
Exactly.
It's your go-to.
And this is just a little twist that people will remember you for. So we have our sandwich, and then we're gonna do an appetizer because this is all about fun.
Shall I move this over?
Sure,
And I'll start on our appetizer,
So
but not too far.
with our appetizer, it is going to be completely cold dish. So this will be really refreshing for like the hot summer gatherings in the days. And on that note, I have and if you don't mind grabbing the green freezer inserts out of the freezer. So this is a cool and serve tray. So we have the base and the lid and the insert. And if you want to set the chilling insert, okay, so these we were keeping in the freezer, and these inserts will keep, so they've been in the freezer, and they'll keep whatever is in your dish cold for up to 4 hours. So I know it gets kind of scary when you have like mayonnaise salads on a hot summer day, so this will make you feel a whole lot better. And then we have our insert, and that's what we're going to be making our dish in. And then our lid, we'll use that later. Now I need you guys to use your imagination because they did redesign this to where it's a rectangle and not a square. So just use your imagination to make this a rectangle. But same thing, and this is what we're going to build our dip in. So getting to our dip, you want to set this just to the side, just for a second. Okay, so getting to our dip, we're actually, this is a Greek hummus layered dip, and we are actually going to make our own hummus. So have you ever bought the store-bought hummus?
Oh, yeah.
And have you made it homemade too?
Oh, yeah.
So
It's a world of difference.
okay.
The texture, the pop, the flavor, and especially when you put that little bit of fresh lemon juice.
Oh yeah,
It just
and the
stands
homemade.
out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've noticed. I mean, I'd be the first to grab and go
Mhm.
one from the store, but the hummuses from the store had this little bit of a funky aftertaste that is
Mhm.
not.
I agree.
It's just not good. And
Yeah.
then once you have your own homemade hummus, you'll never go back. And especially once you see how easy it is. So I'm going to show you guys how easy it is, and we're going to use one of my all-time favorite tools.
And it's actually incredibly inexpensive to make.
Exactly, because you're just using cans of garbanzo
Right.
beans as your main basic. So this is our deluxe cooking blender, and this is actually one of my favorite tools of all time. I mean, other than like my baking tools, but the cooking blender. So I decided that in order to get my veggies and freeze them for the day, I would just do it all at once and make a smoothie. And you can actually literally sneak in like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and okay, so you do notice the taste of kale, but broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, you can mix in this. This is a high power blender, so it gets it a silky smooth puree. So you can sneak in all these veggies and you don't even know you're doing it. So that's just one of the reasons I love it. But then this blender actually, you can see the settings. It has different preset settings. This blender cooks. So you can like throw in butternut squash soup ingredients, hit soup setting, and in like 35, 40 minutes, you have a silky smooth gourmet pureed soup. And then this blender is so intelligent, it knows how to do, it has an exclusive setting where you can make your own jam. So it knows exactly how not to scorch it, and all you do is add your ingredients when it tells you to add. So this blender, basically, in a nutshell, it can do things that other blenders can't. So
I noticed this blender probably is on 2 or 3 times a day in your kitchen.
Yeah. Sometimes I even use it 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention too, it's so powerful you can make your own nut butters, and that you definitely couldn't do with a normal blender. So let me show you our hummus ingredients here.
And the quality of those nut butters it's not unlike the hummus. When you do them from scratch, it's so amazing.
And you don't have to worry about any of those funky ingredients that are in store-bought ones. Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy hummus is. So we're just going to add this to the blender pitcher in the order listed. What I have here is 2 cans of garbanzo beans. Now, this is what I did. So 1 can I just opened, I did not drain. I'm just going to throw that in there. Sorry. And And then the other can, if you don't want that much liquid, you need the right consistency. I drained, and this is our can strainer. This is so handy. You literally just put this on it and dump it over the sink. And you can use this in your tuna cans too, instead of trying to use a fork in the lid.
And it squashes it down to
Exactly.
compress the
You
water
push
out.
it down in your tuna can. So this can, the liquid has been drained from. I'll try not to splash you. You have to learn not to wear a white shirt. Okay, so, and then we're just gonna put in the rest of our ingredients. And then if you want to slice that lemon in half for us, here's a little cutting board for you. We're gonna use our fresh lemon in here. And I do have a half, and it calls for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I noticed that 1/2 of a lemon tends to be 1 tablespoon. So I just need 1 more half of a lemon. And I'm gonna use our citrus press and drop in half the lemon. Hopefully you can see that. And then we'll do the other half. So I like that. Well, I think you mentioned that, Mom, the fresh lemon flavor just
Oh,
really.
yeah. That's one of the big differences that I noticed with when you buy it. I mean, it's not terrible when you buy it. There's some good brands out there, but when you do it fresh, it seems like the salt level and the lemon just make
You
such a
can
difference.
get it how you want it.
Yeah, and even the garlic is more prominent. In
Yeah, and
fresh.
I was gonna say, you can even customize and make it more
Mhm.
garlic, less garlic. So this one calls for 1 clove, but you could definitely add
Mhm.
more. And then the next ingredient in hummus, you'll see a lot of times is tahini. Well, all tahini is ground up sesame seeds. And I had sesame seeds, and this blender is so high powered that it's just gonna take these sesame seeds and grind them into tahini. You don't have to worry about getting tahini. This is just sesame seeds, and you can actually get these in bulk really, really cheaply. So it was a 1/4 cup of sesame seeds. And then, isn't that cute, my little 1/4 cup? And then you can do 4 tablespoons too. And then we're gonna do our flavoring. So it's just 1 raw clove of garlic peeled, and then a teaspoon of salt, and I did a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. And I did vary, you'll see different recipes. This is one that I've been using for a long time, but like sometimes they use different amounts of the ingredients. And then we have 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
I did not realize that. I always go by the tahini, and it's hard to use up that much tahini that comes in a jar.
Oh, yeah.
So I've never just thought about doing the
Yeah.
sesame seeds.
I think it was, might have been Global Foods that I got. It was like a bulk container
Mhm.
of sesame seeds. And it was just a few dollars. And actually I keep it in, I don't use it like you were saying
Mhm.
that often. So I've been keeping it in the fridge. So it lasts,
Oh,
it'll last
yeah.
forever. Okay, so we're gonna move along with our hummus, and we have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, just a really good olive oil. And that's it. That's all the ingredients. And then we're gonna run this in our blender. There's actually a preset setting. So,
I missed the sign.
yeah, there you go. And what's good about the blender is it literally will not turn on unless the lid is on. So it's a safety feature. So I'm gonna set the picture on the base, and then hopefully you guys can see this in action. And this is gonna run for 2 minutes on the grind setting. So just bear with us for 2 minutes. We're gonna get to grind setting, and we're just gonna hit start. that's actually good because this isn't, the preset grind setting is for things that might take longer than this. So this is good. This is, I can see that it's real silky smooth. And you guys probably saw me use the pusher downer, the tamper. You can taste that if you want on there.
And it actually gets a little bit lighter in color too.
Did you think so?
Mhm.
I didn't really pay attention to that. So the other really fantastic thing about this blender is that I know sometimes the electric can be a pain to clean. With this one, all you do is put 3 cups of water in here and 1 drop of dish soap and hit the button for heated wash. And it heats it to sanitize it and it washes it. So it cleans itself at the touch of a button. So get rid of that. I'm gonna set that aside, and then we're going to start layering for this in our corn serve, which is already nice and cold. So I noticed that this little scoop and spread was the best for getting scooping out of the blender. So I'm just going to layer this hummus in the bottom here. How did it taste, Mom? Did you taste plenty of garlic?
It's very good. The garlic was nice. And the other thing is just, as I was tasting that and you have the flavors that kind of linger, that little bit of cumin makes such a big difference.
Okay, because that's optional, but I do it just to give some dimension of flavor. So we'll just, you can kind of see in the picture there, we're just getting all of it out. And I like this consistency that it gets because it's more like a silky smooth. It's not like a chunky hummus. I like the silky smooth. And then we'll just spread that out. We're going to have a party just for this dip. Okay, so spread this out, and we're going to go, this is a layered dip, so we're going to go to our next layer here. Okay, so our next layer is, let's get our next, no, I'm good, we have it all right here. So I'm going to bring over our ingredients that we're going to layer in here. Okay, so we have 1.5 cups of Greek yogurt, and I don't want me to forget this later. We have 1.5 cups of Greek yogurt, and I have this in a measure-all cup. And what's handy about this is you just get it to the level you need. I had 1.5 cups, and then you just push and then easily scrape off. So anything sticky you have, it's super easy and super clean. So like it's perfect for peanut butter or honey or mayonnaise. And then to that, I am going to add, I'm just running down my recipe here and reading it. So to that, I'm going to add the yogurt and a tablespoon of Greek seasoning. This is that one from Jessica that has her family has a olive grove and herb growing operation in Greece. So these are the best Greek herbs. So we're just going to mix that together and then combine the yogurt and the rub, mix well, and then spread the hummus and then spread the yogurt mixture. Okay, so make sure I get this mixed up. And this is just our little small spatter bowl that I'm using. Super handy because it has the measure marks in it, and this has a lid too. So I'm going to spread this carefully over our hummus. And I want to show you what I like to do when you have something, because if you're not careful, it'll get mixed together. So I'm going to show you what I like to do to carefully get this layered.
Do you do that like your icing trick?
Yes,
When you push it?
exactly.
Okay.
And to do that, you'll want to have this little bevel spatula. So it's at an angle, so it gives you complete control, and then you're just going to push. You're going to make your pile in the middle, and then you're just going to push. So this is giving me flashbacks of frosting. Now I'm thinking of cake. So you're just gonna push. As long as you don't pull, that's what'll mix everything together. You're just gonna push, and then you'll be okay. Because we want our layers to stay beautiful. And this goes really quick too. Okay, so then we have our 2 base layers, and then we're gonna start layering some goodies on top of this. And you can kind of picture the flavors that are going on. You have the garlic and the
You can even smell the herbs.
Those herbs, yeah.
As they get wet and get
Okay.
fresh.
Let's run on down the rest of our ingredients.
We know we need our red onion diced.
Okay, so let's do that. So where did I set my cutting? Oh, let's get one more cutting board. You can grab that one fine, that orange one. Okay. Okay. So we're going to, for our onion, use the good old food chopper. And what does it say? 1/2 of an onion?
Yes.
And it did say red onion. I don't happen to have any, but we're going to work with white. And this is actually one of those sweet Vidalias, and I thought that would be good. Maybe, do you think that maybe holds back on the onion breath a little?
I think probably the reason they use the purple is for the color. You still have all the flavor.
And this is there's gonna be so much in this, it's gonna be beautiful. So we're gonna use the food chopper to get our onion diced up. Did you use a whole 1/2 an onion?
Yes.
And we're just gonna layer it, right? We're just gonna start layering all these veggies. And then if you wanna take, I'll give you a little spatula to start kind of spreading that around. So this will be plenty flavorful. All the onion, garlic, herbs. I think I'm bouncing everybody around with the camera.
You can hit that one more right in the middle.
Okay, so there's our onion. And then our next layer is cucumber. So we're going to go back to our quick slice for this. And I'm going to show you guys cucumber in the quick slice. So obviously there's more than one way to do this, but I'm going to show, we're going to go back to the quick slice. And I'm going to do one run of the cucumber. You have to make sure you're not too long for the frame. I'm going to do the cucumber this way. Rock it back and forth. With a little sticker. And then I'm going to carefully take it and I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to start to get little dices. So this is pretty versatile. We're going to get our slices, and then I'm going to carefully take my stack, and I'm going to do one more so we have little dices. And I'm avoiding doing all this little delicate work with the knife because that would kind of take forever. We'll do one more run. Get our little dices. And what does it say? 1/2 a cucumber or a whole cucumber?
It says 1 seedless cucumber, but I think that's traditional cucumber, so probably 1/2 of the English.
And then we're going to call this good. We're just going to start layering cucumber. This is almost like a salad in a, yep. And this, can you picture how healthy this is? Because it's hummus. I mean, there's not even any, it's beans, olive oil, garlic, and then it's
yogurt.
Yeah.
You got dairy in it even.
And it's the Greek yogurt. So I know that one is really high protein. Do you have a favorite brand of the Greek yogurt?
You know, I actually like the Cabot.
Okay.
Whole milk.
Okay.
And I prefer that mostly because of the texture. But it does have.
Do you feel like it's thicker? Because
Yes,
the one I
much.
got today, I feel like was one of the thinner ones. It was that brand, is it Fage or
Yeah.
Fage?
I never know if I'm saying that correctly,
Me either.
but I know exactly which one you're talking
Okay,
about.
so then we're gonna layer on tomatoes diced, and I think you did those earlier, and we already showed slicing a tomato, so we're just gonna run with these. You can see how pretty this is getting already. And then what's that? Tomato, and then, ooh, artichoke heart. So,
Roughly chopped.
okay, so these are the artichoke hearts. And I know I've been using a lot of our fancy cutting tools, but I just want to show you guys, I don't have a real big amount of these. So I just want to talk about a good knife for a minute. So everybody needs at least one really good knife in your kitchen. And these are the lifetime guarantee knives. The time runs all the way through, and when you feel it, it's really balanced, like you can almost literally balance it. And when you use a good knife, you actually feel like a Food Network star. And then if you have not been using a good knife and you use one, you'll realize what you've been missing all along. So I'm just going to take my 8-inch chef knife and just do this quick chop for these artichoke hearts. And they're not hard at all, so we can do this real quick.
And this is so forgiving. The different sizes and colors and textures sort of make it.
It's going to look pretty no matter how we arrange it. But you like to try to get it so you get one little bite of each flavor in each bite. And there is somebody at the farmer's market in Waterloo that does knife sharpening. So they recommend once a year to get your knife professionally sharpened, and he does a really good job. So if you need to do that, his name is Ron Wetzel.
I need to get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's really good. I've talked to him, and he said he would even, I think he even said he'd even come pick them up from you if you need him to. So we're going to add in our artichoke hearts. And these were marinated, so they have, the marinated ones, you feel like they have that extra flavor built in, don't they?
They do, and they're a little bit more briny than the ones in the water, I think.
And what we're using is a flexible cutting mat, which is so nifty because you can just lift the whole thing and just drop your ingredients right in your dish. And then I feel like we're missing at least some goodies here. What else do we need?
Well, we need some feta now.
And I'll get artichokes in there.
If we have the feta, and then we're down to just garnishing it.
Okay. So I did get some pre-crumbled feta cheese. And how much does it
It
say?
is asking for 8 ounces.
Well, I only have 5, but I think we're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be just fine.
Okay, so we're gonna crumble this. Oh my gosh, this is looking good. And I think it'll actually be a pretty filling dip too. This is plenty of feta if you're a little short of 8 ounces. Okay, I might have to, yeah, that's good. Okay, so, okay, we're pretty much good, except of course we can't leave it alone as it is. We have to make it over the top, adding some fresh parsley. So I have my little handy herb mill, and it has this weighted ball that you just keep shaking, and it weights down your parsley. And this is good for any of the softer herbs like cilantro, basil. So we're just going to use our herb mill, and you can kind of see it just rolls it out there, and the weighted ball keeps pushing it down until you get all of it. Gonna add that extra finishing touch. Okay. And you actually do taste the freshness of the parsley too, so that'll add a little something. Okay. And of course, we can add our final little garnish. That's what you would do, isn't it? Okay, so that is it for our Greek 7-layer dip. So then, what if for dippers? Let's think of some different. How about I know you had mentioned you like the peppers, and then let's set up another dipper here, and then we'll try this.
I think, should we try tortilla chip or just a rice chip?
Lindsay, would you want to get up and Let's slice our sandwich ring and
Yeah.
plate it. There's three little plates, and you could just do 3 little servings.
Okay.
So we have our helpers slicing our sandwich ring back here. And then we're getting some extra dippers for our 7-layer Greek layered dip. I can't wait to dig in. I don't know if I can wait for you guys.
Well, let me hand you a chip to deliver.
Oh, I'll wait for you.
You'll wait, okay.
And just put those in that little yellow serving dish right there. And what else? Maybe some pita, but I didn't happen to have any pita on hand, but I think any of your crackers or your tortilla chips or your veggies are gonna be really good with this.
Even a little bit of the cucumber sliced up is
Oh,
nice.
yes, let's slice up some cucumbers.
Delivery for 'em, too.
That's a good idea. Okay. And I do this right here.
And that way, if you have to make the dietary slices and not have the corn or flour, then you can try the cucumber and pepper.
Okay, you can do the gluten-free, totally.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think this hummus dip doesn't have any gluten.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we have our cucumber slices, bell pepper, and then we have some crackers. And then Lindsay's getting our savory sandwich ring ready. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Ooh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This looks perfect. So it didn't fall apart on you too bad when you cut it.
Just second piece with a little.
So you probably just have to press it down plenty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can even put a little toothpick in while you're cutting it and it will maintain it a little.
How's it going? Did you get it? Okay, you can sit here by me.
Yeah.
You can sit there. We'll do our official taste test. Okay, so you have your plate. Okay. Okay, what should we do first? The appetizer or the sandwich?
I want to try by the
Okay,
appetizer
make
first.
sure everybody can see.
Okay.
There we
We're
go. Okay, so here's our sandwich. And then we're gonna try our appetizer. Okay. So what do you think?
I'm
Dipper, you gonna
going
go?
to go in for a cucumber and get it there.
I wanna go for one of these rice crackers.
And I want to do a tortilla chip.
There we go. We've got a sampling of everything.
You need me to get it for you, Lindsay?
Yeah, if you don't mind. That's beautiful.
I guess you have to go straight down so
Mhm.
you get everything. Okay, here you go, Lindsay. Okay. Well, then we have to do our cheers with our, okay.
All right.
Cheers. You need to squeeze in there, Mom. Okay.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Delicious. The freshness just pops.
That layered dip has even more flavor than I realized
Mm-hmm.
because it's the herbs and the garlic. Okay. So,
Mm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's good. Okay. So, our sandwich.
Okay.
So this is pretend we're on a, make sure you're squeezing with us, Mom. So pretend we're on a picnic on a hot summer day.
There
Okay.
we go. Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, that's really good.
That bread is the perfect texture too. It doesn't prohibit you from taking like a nice bite. It gives
No.
a little,
Yeah.
it's got a nice softness.
And I noticed right away the freshness of the veggies is
Mhm.
what jumps out at you. So all those flavors are there and all those layers. So I will definitely send you guys all the recipes for our sandwich and our hummus and our layered dip. So let us know which one is your favorite. And thanks so much for popping on here with us tonight, you guys. And happy Memorial Day, happy Mother's Day, happy 4th of July,
Mhm.
graduations. Happy summer, you guys.
Enjoy.